How did it make you feel? Did you have trouble sleeping or affect your nerves at all?
Yeah, like when you hit it, the next time you roll out the gate, you're definitely thinking about it.
Sure.
But you can't let that cloud your mind space, or then you're not protecting your friends, you know what I mean?
Until local forces are fully trained to take over in Afghanistan, Canadian soldiers patrol the danger zones, braving the risks of IEDs and Taliban attacks.
Good, take the ground, boys, take the ground.
This exercise prepares them for those sudden threats.
Nice and tight, boys. Extended line, let's go, get into it. Let's go. Push through.
An IED has taken out the lead scout.
I want all-round defense there too, IC. Take it up.
Once the position is secure, Private McKay and the medic have to stabilize the wounded soldier.
We're here, you gonna be all right?
And stop the bleeding.
Need a tourniquet?
Just assess his breathing, make sure his lungs are expanding from both sides.
Speed is everything. 1 minute can make the difference between life and death.
Sergeant, I got the stretcher here. Need to get this off my back.
It's a disturbingly realistic scenario. More than half of all the Canadian soldiers killed in Afghanistan were victims of IED attacks.
Hang in there, bud. You're good. We're getting you out of here.
They struggle with the stretcher down a 65-foot drop to the landing zone,
Hey, let's not drop the casualty. How you making out there, buddy?
where the helicopter will put down just long enough to load the casualty.
Right, 2-1 press, suck it in, all-round defense on me, let's go.
I think just spending time with the guys and talking about their experiences in Afghanistan, that to me was very real. I mean, trying to apply their experiences to the training and trying to grasp what goes through their minds when they're actually involved in incidents. One fellow was talking about how he'd had 3 IED experiences in the course of about 6 months. The guy the Sergeant Carr calls nails. He must be hard as nails to go through that.
Right there, one section, just listen up. I'm gonna ask one more time, is there anything in the back of that lav that you need to have? And I'm looking right at you there, Big Mac.
No, Sergeant.
Are you sure? 100% sure?
I'm sure.
It's all right, your mistake, the section will pay.
What does he mean when he says we all pay?
It means Private McKay won't be a popular guy in the morning. One last lesson for the day.
This is a wall of honor here for fallen comrades.
You never forget the soldiers who gave their lives in the service of their country.
You would have known a lot of these soldiers.
Yeah, I got a lot of friends. Old Storm Montgomery on the bottom here. Fantastic guy, do anything for you. We got Darcy Tedford, went through the ranks pretty much with him, but a lot of these guys came through with me. On the back side here, Road to Zero, this is the tour that I was on. We got on the left is Corporal Robbie Baronfinger. Again, him and I went through together. And then Murph, he was hurt there.
Tough to walk by here, I bet.
Officially, it's not part of the training, but it's a reality every Canadian soldier today has to be ready
They're
for.
important. I spoke to you about this yesterday. Recover. Take a look to your left or right now, Private McKay. See these soldiers? They've been on the ground, pumping push-ups off, waiting for you. That's unacceptable behavior. It will not happen. I will not tolerate it again. Understood?
Yes, Sergeant.
I can't hear you. Use your Army voice.
Yes, Sergeant!
Louder.
Yes, Sergeant!
Good. Timings are everything. We have an H hour. We either hit that H hour on the nose or people could lose their lives. So there is no flexibility.
And Private McKay's not off the hook just yet.
You have a fresh set of combats?
Yes, I do, Sergeant.
Where are your fresh set of combats?
They're at the barracks.
They're at the barracks? One thing I can't stand, Private McKay, is to be lied to. A certain bunch of belongings were left in a vehicle last night. Don't look at me, look to your front. It's property of the taxpayers.
Yes, Sergeant.
If you lose that kit, the taxpayer's out of money. Do you understand that?
Yes, Sergeant.
Good. Stop the push-up position. Everybody but Private McKay. Get out! The remainder of the section will do push-ups while you pack the rest of your kit up in your bag. Understood, Private McKay?
Yes, Sergeant.
Section, begin push-ups. 1, 2. Take your time, Private McKay. They have all day to do this.
Your unit is getting punished for something you did. You're isolated. You're made to feel very much responsible for, the punishment that's being meted out to them.
Down! Up!
We're all in this together, good and bad. If somebody screws up, everybody pays.
Up, 27.
Take your time.
Sergeant.
Recover. How you feeling there, Bombardier?
Outstanding, Sergeant.
Outstanding. I like to hear that. Good. Okay, section, don your kit.
Okay, push out.
In Afghanistan, Canadian soldiers regularly operate in towns and villages where it's sometimes impossible to tell friend from foe. That's why the Army gives soldiers what they call urban ops training. In the backwoods of Canadian Forces Base Petawawa, they've built a mock Afghan village. Soldiers train here before they deploy overseas for the real thing.
So the more practice, the more times we do this, and they know where they got to be and what they got to do, it'll help them for when they're under stress, that their body will react, even though their mind will be thinking of their girlfriends or their mamas back home.
All right, Smiley, take us out.
The object is to breach and clear the buildings of insurgents as fast as possible. The demolitions man sets a charge on the door to blow it.
Moving in, coming in!
The building is clear, but then out of nowhere a civilian appears. And combat experience tells a soldier there's something wrong here.
All-round defense up front.
A suicide bomber, and the section takes its first casualty.
Fall back. Contact, way down. Contact! We gotta go, Doc. One section, 50 meters. Possible enemy in tree line. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Everything seems to be about repetition and very much about synchronizing and becoming almost automatic in your response time.
I've got the next side, I got the next side.
Sergeant Carr is drilling into Canadian soldiers the skill set that they're going to need.
Let's go. Fuck, get out of there. Get in there, get in there. Ramp clear.
For the final stage of Private McKay's training, the section heads to the firing range. Here, they'll be shooting long range with live ammo.
200! Target to your front! Rapid rain fire!
Private McKay has no weapons training, so he's assigned as the fire team's radio man.
This is 2-1 Alpha, over.
Calling in the big guns.
2-1 Alpha requesting weapons check now.
Maybe it looks like it's just boys and their toys. But in Sergeant Carr's section, it's a rite of passage.
Generally, when the troops get to the battalion, they're not really accepted into the battalion until their first live fire.
Okay, 2-1 Alpha complete.
Once that occurs, they're more accepted at that time because they have a bit of TI time in.
What'd you think of that? Was that not fucking awesome?
Fantastic.
I got the paperwork. You want to join?
Sure, man. Sign me up.
Right on.
One thing that's very clear to me is there is a tremendous band of brothers. There is a real human connection that happens when you've gone through an experience, good and bad. In the Canadian Forces, men like Sergeant Carr, they live and breathe that experience.
2-1 Alpha, your first section.
Proud to be with you, Serge. Guys, ooh-ah.
Private McKay's come a long way since I first got him. I think the haircut was the first turning point for him. He's fully integrated in the section and capable of working on the radio and to take direction from myself and act upon that himself.
McKay has earned some serious cred with his troops in the last couple of days, and they're not easy to impress.
What a pleasure to be with you.
They put the politician to work, and those 2 days at the sharp end, he'll never forget.
Whoa. There was a bit of a bonding that took place that, allowed me to experience things that will stay with me a long time.
You're right out of her. Bagging.
Practical information, experiences they've had, I find all of that is going to be helpful for me in the future in terms of some of the decisions that we're taking.